So I guess this is what we're doing today. I had this idea of a very soft blue. I might actually tone the blue down just to here. I want it to be a little more gray. But let's get started. Grab your clean canvas right here and just make sure it's nice and even. The first thing I did is I actually just went over just my lid here with this Make Up Forever Artist Color Pencil. I'm melting it into the eyeshadow base so it can kind of turn into a cream shadow. And then we'll just kind of pull it to about right there, tap it up. It's okay if it goes above. It's gonna be really messy for just a second. So now we're gonna grab this gorgeous palette. This is the NIKKIETUTORIALS Beauty Bay palette. It's so pretty. We need to decorate with it. It should just stay out. This decoration, it's so pretty. I'm gonna grab the shade here, Mila, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start to tap this through our crease. Notice how I'm pressing that eyeshadow into the eyeshadow base. I'm never swiping. It's just going to make sure that it doesn't crease and that it's as pigmented as it possibly can be. So then I grabbed a little bit of the red. This is a really good way to work with red without going absolutely wild, out of control spiced. It's a very pigmented red. So when I say I picked up the smallest amount, I picked up the smallest amount. So what we'll do is we'll start in the center. Oh, wrong side. Start in the center here. And we're just going to start to kind of flip this color into a more burgundy red. You can see how it does that over here. I'm picking up the smallest amount again. That should be enough red to start working in here. And we'll mix these two together, and as we're tapping, they're going to create just this really cool burgundy red transition. Now I did this for quite some time. I just kept going back and forth, working it up towards the brow bone. It's going to start to transition itself. So now we're going to grab the darker brown in the palette. And what I'm going to do, you see it's on one side. I'm going to flip that side towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to start to darken in here. And then I also darkened out here as well. We're going to come back to the lid. I know she's looking a little sad. We got this. Now I'm just going to grab a bone colored shadow from another palette, and I'm going to tap this on my brow bone. Start to tap it in here. Y'all, I am so fast that I'm just doing one eye. Maybe we'll start doing it that way. And we'll just kind of tap it out this way. Just continue to tap. Remember, I have one more tip to come in and blend a little bit more over this way. Don't worry about that. So with this very blown out type eye look, I'm going to grab a very fluffy brush. It's a prototype red, let you'll know what it is. I'm wiping it off, making sure there's no product on here. It is a clean brush, but I blended this side. So what I'm going to do now is remember, the whole eyeshadow base is set. I'm still not going to scratch back and forth, but what I am going to do is very small circular motions, and I'm using very light pressure. That's why I'm holding the brush so far back. It's going to give us more control, but it's also going to give us the lightest pressure. So just take this. Don't worry about how far you bring it out. We'll come back to that in a little while. But let's just really go over this and blend. Make sure it's just so seamless. Look how pretty that looks. So let's grab a MAC 252S. Look at this big old whopper. This is such a good brush for this. We're going to go into this shade first. I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to press this in. And then I really just kind of want to push it up in here. I don't want it to be too perfect. I kind of just want to melt it into that darker shade. And then we'll just kind of pull it over this way. We'll come back and I'll show you what to do over here in a second. But then I grabbed a little bit of this shade as well, and I put that on top just to kind of gray down and dull down the blue. I like that more, it's not a pastel, it's a little bit more gray blue. Okay, so we have to hop over to this palette. I need a really dark brown. I might even hop into the black, we'll see. I don't have black here, but I have an idea. But what I'm doing here is I'm going to take this dark brown, and I want it to be the darkest right through here. Just kind of press it in there. Perfect. Now I always find that even transitioning here on your lid just gives it a more professional look. So once again, we're gonna grab a little bit of this shade and then a touch of the red, and we're gonna tap this in between here. And that little bit of transition, you can see it's already done here. Once you tap that together, it just gives this beautiful ombre effect. Now don't worry about it being messy here. We're about to cover that up with liner. I'm using the Maybelline one. I'm doing this so far away, I cannot see what the heck I'm doing. I do want it to be thinner towards the inner part. It's just gonna give us a little bit more lifted look. Okay, I'm gonna look over here in my mirror, y'all. I cannot stress how much I love this liner. It's so precise and so black. So good. I've misplaced Shelby. Hang on. I found Shelby. Shelby is the sister to Sheila. So this is a makeup eraser, and you guys know, you probably never seen me use makeup wipes. I don't know. We gotta act right to that environment. So I'm just gonna take this, which works like a charm. See this nice little edge? And we'll just clean up underneath here. And this is the original makeup eraser. So I'm gonna teach you guys today how to do this inner corner wing. I did it a little too early because I was just seeing where we're at. But I will tell you a really good tip. Don't do it till you have your foundation and concealer on. I'm going to want to take concealer right through here, and I'm probably going to cover that up, so don't do it yet. We'll wait till later. So for lashes, I'm going to take these Ardell Demi Wispies, and I'm actually curling the heck out of them. So they're going to be super, super curly. This little lash curler here is so cool. This one's from Reveal Beauty. I'll have it tagged, so I'm just going to keep going back and forth and curling the heck out of them. So now I'm going to take the lash curler again and just really clamp my natural lashes together. That way we don't see any separation. Okay, so I feel if we go to full coverage with this kind of eye, it's going to look just so Instagram, which I love Instagram. I love Instagram makeup. But I want to do really luminous, glowing skin, and I want you to be able to see even my little freckles here underneath. So I just really want to even my skin tone. I need to make a cup of tea. BRB. Tea. Woo. Glass skin. Glass skin. So good. Oh, and by the way, I think I accidentally hit mute on the one where I'm talking about this, the niacinamide. Love this serum. Love it. That's all I was saying. I love this serum. It's so wonderful, but let me try it one more time. It actually wore really amazing underneath my makeup. But yeah, that's all I was saying. I don't know why I hit mute. You guys know I'm filming as I go. It's chaos. I live in chaos. Plus now, I gotta wait for him. I'm gonna give y'all a tutorial on how to remove a cat from a chair. Step 1, you don't. Please move. Please? Please move? Please? No? Oh God. Oh God. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh. Okay, I conquered the kitty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm using my Huda foundation. This is the stick foundation, and I'm just gonna go and just kind of cover places that I really want covered. I feel like my under eye is the main issue here. This little guy, we'll cover him up. We'll kind of just go along and just go over certain areas. This is a very skin-like foundation. It's one of my faves. And I'm wearing the shade Shortbread. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just go over and just press in as we go. That way we can still see our skin too. It's so pretty. And of course I'm using my Anisa Pinnacle Foundation brush. Make sure you guys swipe up. Anisa Beauty is having all kinds of sales. They are here for the holiday good time. So swipe up and go check out those sales. And I'm actually just gonna take a little bit of the foundation here on this little brush. We'll just kind of pull it through here. My brush is a prototype, but you can just use any kind of synthetic brush. And we'll just clean up in here. Makes a major difference. Woo! It's a concealer from me. I'm gonna grab my Cover FX Power Play Concealer. I already did this side of my face. I didn't do here. I've already done the center of my forehead and my chin, but I didn't do this. And I'm just gonna press this in with my Anissa Angle Concealer brush. And then I'm actually just gonna take a little bit and go under here for now. Let that kind of sit. I'm gonna do the same over here. We'll actually be able to use less bronzer. Look at our, looks like I have a contour. We'll be able to use less product if we just kind of give ourselves a guideline right now. It's not going to be a straight line. It's not going to be wild and scary. It's just going to look like that for a second. For right now, I'm just going to continue to really press this into the skin. So I'm going to use my Cover FX, the Perfect Setting Powder today. My little puff here from Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and kind of set, because I'm going to be using powder bronzer and powder blushes today, and even powder highlights. I am taking my time, okay? Even when I close out of here and we stop this, Rose is still going to be sitting here pressing this in. So now we're going to hop into one of my favorite bronzers. I actually got a new one. I bought this during one of Ulta's sales. I don't know it. This is the Kylie bronzer in the shade Toasty. My brush is a prototype, but I just want to lightly warm up the skin. I don't want to contour or go too heavy. I'm not telling you, I'm telling myself. Also, look how hydrated my cheekbone looks. This is where we put the niacinamide serum from Glow Recipe. So healthy. Just sipping my tea out of my Christmas train cup. This is my favorite cup. I love it. Oh, and by the way, it's not cold here at all anymore. It is now a balmy 74. I actually love it though. I like having a couple days where it's a little chilly and then the rest of it's 75. Okay, so me and Mel, we've been talking about tightlining now for the past month, and I don't think either one of us have done it, so I'm gonna do it first. So you guys can say she copied me. I'm kidding, I love you, Mel. So what we're gonna do is I just laugh at it now. It's so good. Ugh, I'm running so low. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start in our waterline first. So we're gonna go back and forth, bring it all the way over, and we'll do the top. Let me zoom you guys all the way in. So now what we're gonna do is we're actually, instead of coming from underneath, that's already gonna give us a very smoky effect, it's gonna ruin any kind of precision, we're gonna come from on top of the lashes. And what I'm doing is I'm just lightly pulling and kind of pushing it into the lash line. Really take your time and make sure there's no separation. So now we're gonna grab a liquid liner. This one's also from Mario. And what we're gonna do, actually, let's do this side. I'm going to come in here. You wanna keep it as tight as possible. And then I kind of connected this. I kind of start right in the tear duct and just kind of pull it down. Just use that slant as your guideline. Also, this just has such precision. So again, we'll come from up top and just kind of pull it back and forth. And if you see any kind of separation, just keep dabbing over that. Okay, so here is how we do the inner corner. So instead of doing liner, no matter what, it can get messy even for me. So what I'll do is I'll grab black eyeshadow and the tiniest little brush in my entire kit. This one's from Maven Beauty. I'm gonna have to zoom in a little bit more. So what I'll do is I'll just start connecting it. And I always like to come from underneath. And when I say underneath, I'm kind of going back and forth here. I'll come from underneath here. And then we'll just kind of extend it. It's the black eyeshadow. A lot of times we think, oh, I gotta go in here with liquid liner. It's gonna be chaos. And no matter what, even I mess up sometimes, I want to suggest this concealer, and I want you guys to know that this concealer is so good for cleaning up once you have all of your makeup done and you don't want to ruin anything, because it's a very dry concealer. So we're just going to use a little bit of this, and we'll just come right underneath here and sharpen the heck out of it. Now I'm using the smallest amount And we'll even go underneath our tight line. And again, makeup, it's definitely about precision, but having a steady hand is not crucial. It's really just knowing the products, the formulas, and the ways to come back and fix it later. How pretty is this? So we're gonna do just a little bit of this. This is from Bodyography. It's one of their glitter pigments. It's called Blue Morpho, and I'm using the smallest amount. I don't wanna go overboard. I just kinda wanted to put a little bit of shimmer here, a little bit of an inner corner highlight, more of did she, didn't she? And just when the light hits, it's just like, oh, oh, oh. Okay, so you guys know I love matching undertones in my eyeshadow. So we're gonna match this red burgundy to our blush. This is gonna be perfect. This is the Alamar palette. The blush palette, this is the shade Dark Rich. So I'm gonna take that because these are so pigmented, and I'm just kinda gonna even that out there. And then we can press it into our cheek. So I've been wanting to use this highlighter. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. I've seen if it was a different shade, but I'm not seeing that. And I'm actually just going to apply this with my finger. You guys know I love to just press these in. I don't use a lot of powder here on my cheekbones. So if you just press it in, it kind of turns it into a cream highlighter, which means no texture. Okay, so I want to do a really peachy, nudie lip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil. This is in the shade Wherever Walnut. As you can see, it's kind of pulling the same tones as right through here. So now I'm going to grab probably one of my favorite nude lipsticks of the whole entire makeup world. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills Pure Hollywood. Oh, it's so good. And then I'm going to grab my lip liner once again and just kind of melt the two together. And then just to tie it all together, I love it. I'm gonna grab this Lorac gloss. This is in the shade Pacific. It has blue flecks in it. They're just a little bit noticeable. It's not like wearing blue lipstick, but it just adds a really cool effect to nude lips. It's one of my favorite glosses of all time. Alright guys, here we have the finished look. Might be one of my new favorite looks. I say that every day. We got to start doing more tight lining. I feel like everything's in trends, and I feel like I haven't seen a lot of tight lining. So we need to bring this back. We got to bring it back. It looks so spicy. I love you guys. I will post all of the makeup details in a little while. Make sure you turn on your notification bell, because after this Anissa giveaway, I already have my own personal giveaway. So make sure you turn on your notification bell. I love you guys so much. So much. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. And again, I don't normally do my tutorials on the weekend. I will try, but either way, I'm here, and we'll see you in the next tutorial on Monday.